Are you ready for your professional fight? Say yeah!
Yeah!
Your next matchup is scheduled for 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing your fighters. First, making his way into the blue corner, please welcome Carl Deaton.
All right, here we go. We're heading into the fighters that we know a little bit more about.
I've probably been in attendance at almost at least 90% of Carl Deaton's fights since amateur in Alma, Michigan, and Mount Pleasant.
You know, backing up for just a second, we were talking about AJ Pratt earlier. I knew it had been a long time.
Yeah.
7 years since he's been in a cage.
Wow.
So think about how old we are.
Hey,
That 7 years goes by and we don't notice it's been 7 years.
But stop reminding us.
I have a child about to turn 7 who was born while I was down here working. Now, one thing you have in Deaton and Blassingame are those are 2 guys that like to capitalize on their opponent's mistakes. Neither one of these 2 get terribly aggressive to start the fight, so if one of them decides to do that, it'll be interesting to see who.
They're both very hard to finish, too, though.
Very much.
Ridiculously athletic, incredibly strong.
Yeah, and I've seen us almost call it like the tap is going to come any second, and then they're somehow out.
Or reversed, and the tap goes the other way sometimes that quickly.
Yeah, they're definitely mega athletes and grinders.
And Deaton much more comfortable at lightweight. He used to cut the featherweight.
And his opponent, making his way into the red corner, please welcome Antoine Blassingame.
Yeah, and Blass has been around the block many old times.
He's one of my favorite people to watch fight.
I remember when he used to have all that hair, and I would be like, hey, that's gonna have to be in trouble. You're gonna get caught in submissions, and nope, sure didn't. Somehow got out of all of it.
He has a lot to prove here. He's very popular in Flint.
Yeah.
Coming off a tough matchup and not taking anything easy in the form of Carl Deaton, CD3.
Yeah, that's the big thing is like in WXC, you can get lucky, but you're not going to get an easy fight. It just don't happen. Hardly ever do you see somebody get an easy fight or a favorable matchup. It's always tough grinds, man.
Well, and that's why we see consistently some of the same camps, and also why we don't see some of the same camps.
Yes, yes, yes.
If you're looking for easy fights for your guys, you're not going to find them in this WXC cage.
And long term, that's the better choice anyways, because how do you improve? Iron sharpens iron.
You would think it depends what you're marketing, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you're marketing yourself, then you don't mind giving your guys walkthroughs so you can pad that.
Yeah.
Not saying that goes on anywhere.
I heard that. I heard some of those gyms shut down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many times can you sacrifice? The sacrificial lamb gets boring.
Eventually, people will stop paying you to train them.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens.
You think most of these fighters pay? Let's go to the cage. Pete Trevino with your official WXC introduction.
They paid James
Here
Gray.
we go, WXC fight fans. The following contest is scheduled for 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Being brought to you tonight by FKNG Vodka, Motor City Automotives, and Fiber Bright Incorporated. Formally introducing all 3 men in the cage at this time, starting with your referee, Vance Swerden. And now the fighters. First, fighting out of the WXC blue corner, wearing the black and gray trunks trimmed in yellow. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, he weighed in at 155.8 pounds. He is a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Nimke Fitness, Syndicate MMA, and Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the #1 ranked featherweight in the state of Michigan, Carl the Anishinaabe Kid Deaton. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the WXC red corner, wearing the blue and orange trunks. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, he weighed in at 155.7 pounds. He is a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Murcielago MMA and Flint, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Antoine, the Cash Alpha Blassingame. This WXC matchup will be decided in 3 rounds or less. Referee Vance Worden.
Okay, guys, we've been over the rules. I want a good fight and I want a clean fight. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Back to your corners, come out fighting.
This one's going to be pretty serious.
All right, I gotta rewind just a second. I gotta clear up that comment. SFS has got some tough fighters, including UFC fighters. So I would normally agree with you on most things, but on that one, I'm on the opposite side of you. And Blassingame with 2 nice stiff lefts.
Why even bother with that?
He's waiting. Patience. There you go.
Yeah, see,
Hey,
Blass is trying to use that reach, trying to stay nice and long, but he is the one closing the gap.
All low.
Well,
There we
Deaton
go,
did a
Blass.
really great job of sneaky picking that heel and almost dumping Blassingame on his back.
Yeah.
That was really just so nonchalant. I've not seen it like that before.
Hits hard, you can just see that power just pops.
He's sleeping in, Blass.
Well, and he doesn't get frustrated. At least I've never seen him frustrated. That Deaton, that is.
As a person either. You won't. He's calm, cool, and collected in any situation.
Blassingame did a nice job of cutting out of that. That could have been bad as
corner
Deaton set
there.
up the angle.
Oh. Back to the center. Blass.
Deaton's nose already showing a little wear right on the bridge there.
Yeah.
220, Blass. 220.
Oh, nice.
Stumbled him there.
Hey, wait, Blass.
Well, Blassingame is
Patience, Blass.
deceptive in how hard those shots are, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, good job taking that leg out.
Hey,
Yeah, that hurt.
back it off.
Well, you see when he throws that right, he puts all his weight on that leg and really steps out on it.
Yeah. Switched his stance,
Three
too.
threes.
That's how you know when you really clipped a guy, right? When he changed his game.
Yeah.
Up.
That's
Deaton
about
with a nice takedown.
Yeah, that's what
Shoots
it's
the
all
double.
about, how to impose your game. Oh.
So if you're just joining us, this is a professional fight. Look for those elbows to come down hard and heavy.
I'd like to welcome everyone here to WXC 88 on Spectation Sports. We're live in Flint, Michigan. I'm David Clifford alongside Steve LaFrate and Harley Waller.
That Blass was looking for a minute to get up, but too much pressure is just going to be hard for him to stand up unless he can get his back more onto that cage.
Deaton does a great job of making himself so heavy. He's got such a solid base.
Yeah.
And you can see just the way he's using gravity to roll Blassingame around the cage and keep him on his side.
And there we go. It's
Swearden right on top of the action, making sure that knee stays on the body. Doesn't accidentally find the head of Blassingame.
Yeah, he's throwing a couple of those nice along the floor knees already, and he's chasing a mount here.
Odd place to chase the mount. Not a big fan of that.
Right
No,
next
I
to the
agree,
wall.
as long as Blassingame is. Out of the frying pan into the fire, Blassingame giving up his back.
Yeah, he should have been up a little quicker there. He hesitated for just a second, and, and that's all he needed.
When he felt Deaton pause, he had to know he was looking to transition, and he should have bailed on that cage run.
Yeah.
Just outstanding positioning by Deaton.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that
Sneaking that
snuck
check
immediately in.
Well, he's not far enough around the corner. Blassingame can get that shoulder back through and take that choke off by turning into Deaton, but it's starting to sink.
Well, the more fighting he's doing, it seems like it's going the opposite way.
He's got that leg across now. He's going to get his hips underneath Blassingame's back, and that's it.
Blast is hard to finish like this, but
well, he needs to drive his shoulders
he's
up
out.
high.
He got out of it there briefly, unless Deaton reapplied it properly.
Well, if he can get his back, Dave, if he can get his back to the mat, the choke is off. He didn't quite have the room.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wow. And again, into the frying pan and back into another fire.
Well, as Harley said, he is ridiculously tough to finish. And
yeah,
watch,
the thing is, this is 5-minute rounds, though. That's the thing.
Well, he's going to be great at not taking a lot of damage, but what he's also going to do is lose this round.
Yes.
And giving up his back again. Universal sign language for please stop hitting me. But Deaton didn't get the memo. He let a few shots go from the back, too. 10 seconds. Blassingame is going to get out of this round.
Oh, nice knee.
And that folded Deaton over a little bit.
Yeah, that was definitely caught him a little bit. That was a nasty knee. Didn't do enough to steal that round by any means, but he said, I'm still here.
Do you think Deaton was smelling the finish and trying to maybe exert just a little too much energy?
I don't know. If he's watched any tape involving Blassingame, you can't count on a finish until your hand's in the air.
Yeah, I mean, and that's first of all, I would probably rely on punching my way to a submission rather than chasing us up, especially on Blassingame. He just will not be submitted unless you do everything right. And half of the time, not even then.
Well, he's going to have to find a solution for how quickly Deaton closes. And in this small cage, that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something definitely to be noted. Is this cage is not striking friendly.
Well, you have to really cut angles and step off every time you throw a shot, or you're going to give up a takedown, especially against someone of the caliber of Carl Deaton. All right, round one on the books, round two underway.
Deaton breathing awful heavy to start the round.
And so is Blassingame.
Yeah.
That just lets you know the pace these two beat each other under.
Yeah, that was a big grind, man.
So with the way Deaton comes in, if Blassingame can look for that check hook, slide out to his right and bring it right over the top, we could see something spectacular here.
You know, Deaton's most significant strike that he threw in that first round, in my opinion, was that front leg kick.
Yeah, I would agree.
It changed how Blassingame was playing the game. You're absolutely right. It's an excellent observation as Deaton closes, and we're right back where we finished round one.
See, the thing is, Blassingame can survive this, but you can't win fights here.
No, and you're in trouble in the judge's eyes where he is. The whole first round, too.
It's like that scene from Top Gun. That was some of the best flying I've seen, right up until you got killed. Now Deaton looking to pin that arm and come around. But Blassingame's legs are so long. It's tough to get over those knees and not give up position.
Tried to sneak an elbow in there, too. Just whiffed right by.
Well, Deaton is a grinder. He will not give you any room to breathe, any room to move. And if you let him impose his game on you, it's at best a long 15 minutes.
Yeah.
At worst, you're on the wrong end of a highlight reel.
Yeah, the thing, too, is he can finish with strikes and with submissions. He has the whole game when it comes to that. So you can't rest anywhere. But you also got to know that you got to fight the whole fight with Blassingame. There's no such thing as taking a second off. because he'll take it right back.
I just love Deaton's grind, though. That pressure. Look at that head.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like I've been wrestling since I'm 6.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
Yep. Yes, as judokas, that was an interesting thing to realize the first time. Like, what the hell is that?
When if you get
That can't be legal, can it?
the further north you get, mid-Michigan, where Carl Deaton is from, is considered up north to a lot of people. The stronger the wrestling programs at the high schools, it's our martial art.
And it's also, and I don't mean that everybody lives a farm life, but it is a lot of manual labor over many generations. A lot of those guys are just strong. I remember doing seminars going up north, and I was like, holy shit, these guys are strong.
Very.
Strong. Different level strong.
Well, it's the Midwest, right? I started wrestling when I was 6.
Yeah. We had Sleepy Bear wrestling.
Yeah. And we have somehow gotten to mount again.
And he's really just been holding him.
Blassingame trying to turn out, but only serving to take himself off of the cage and give Deaton just such strong position. And Deaton is just a heavy wet blanket on Blassingame.
Yeah.
Lead.
Oh, he's one of those thunder blankets, right?
Yeah.
Big heavy weighted blankets. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I think he's gotten out of it so many times. I sometimes I wonder if he fully respects the chokes.
Well, where he's at, he's going to have a hard time finding the cage bottom. And now it's in deep, and it's the forearm. There's the tap.
Yeah,
it's
there's
over.
a tap. Deaton's hard work pays off. He stayed on top of Blassingame the whole time.
That was not a traditional rear naked choke that cuts off the blood flow. That was crushing the trach.
Yeah, that looked painful.
Yeah, that was pain.
And you could see Blassingame wincing as that went deeper and deeper. Well, this is one of those fights that was won by the game plan, and Deaton's ability to take it to the mat where he excels is getting his hand raised today. But that's nothing negative to the heart of Mr. Blassingame there.
Not at all.
That's
not an easy finish by any means. We said it several times during that fight. Deaton left it all in there.
Mike.
Sounded like the seagull from Finding Nemo. Mike. All right, fight fans, let's go into the cage. Pete Trevino with your official WXC decision.
Flint, Michigan, a round of applause is due right now for both of the fighters in this cage. Your tap out came at 3 minutes, 53 seconds of the second round for your winner by rear naked choke submission, Carl the Anishinaabe Kid Deaton.
Pete Trevino makes our first professional contest official and puts it in the books. CD3 executed his game plan from the very start. Got himself a good quality win.
a good win, without a doubt.
Against a tough opponent. I mean, to finish Anton Blassingame is no easy day at the office, that's for sure.